Afternoon, everybody. It's April 13th, Monday, 2020. Hope everyone's doing well. This is just another video, quick update. What I do, not what I want you to do or anyone else. I'm not giving you advice. This is just what I do, what works for me, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions. How to heal the body. Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine, let medicine be thy food." That didn't make sense to me before I researched it, and I used to believe everything my doctors told me. I used to go get my vaccines, my pharmaceuticals. I used to eat, GMO foods. Organic and GMO just meant something that people want to spend more money on and waste on, but I didn't know better. I ate at fast food places. I drank Red Bull. I was working my ass off every day, doing construction, trees, demolition, landscaping, concrete, waterproofing, and I had three crushed vertebrae. My spine kept getting worse. Doctor said I was going to be paralyzed around a breathing machine, the way my ribs were tilting forward, digging into my stomach and my lungs, that my breathing capacity was being affected, and the wrong move, they said I would be paralyzed. So I listened to them. I got surgery, and that's a video for another day because that's over 50 procedures, and they nearly killed me. Well, I'm not blaming them. I chose to go there, so I literally nearly let them kill me. But here, this is what I found out after all that long process of researching everything I could about Western medicine, what we're taught in schools, physics, everything that we're involved in, and how we're taught that, like evolution, they tell us we evolved from bacteria, which is completely false, and they tell us that we've evolved from monkeys, and it's false. The human body's everything, consciousness is way more advanced than they want you to believe, because if you knew your true power, you could not be controlled. So this is one way you can take your power back. Uh, food. Food is literally what I look to now for is my medicine. I have microgreens here in front of us. I've been eating as we go and plucking. You can see the new ones popping up. This is arugula and mustard. That's squash growing. Those are potatoes growing. Everything's organic, non-GMO. Uh, this actually needs to be turned, but I just did it for the video so you can see I put north on my flower pots. So a plant doesn't have legs. They don't walk around. When they root in the ground, they plan on staying there. So they align themselves not only with the sunlight. This leaf is facing this way because there's light there instead of this way. See how this leaf is not facing that way because there wasn't any light over here? They want to align to the light, but not only that, on the more subtle energies. They want to align to the magnetic field of the earth. So I align all my plants, but for the video I just had it turned right now, but here we'll put it back north. So really that's the way that plant is designed to stay, and it's going to stay that way the rest of its life as long as I plant it and stop messing with it for these videos. So food is your medicine. Now, in a world that you live in now, with most of us, literally, we're every city. I've driven coast to coast many times. I travel the country a lot, and I see that there's really not much healthy food out there. Everything's modified, manipulated, and then sprayed with Roundup and who knows what else. So, a good way to get your minerals that you need, and not only that, when we grow our food, we don't put minerals back in. Typically, they put synthetic chemicals in there, so it looks like it's a healthy plant, but it's really not. So I started researching. Santos Bonacci is the one who first taught me about this stuff on his YouTube channels. But if you want to really dig in deep, Dr. George Carey, he's the one that really, after hearing Santos speak about him, I got these books and read them. And this one's my favorite out of these five. I have one more book a friend of mine's borrowing, and it's probably as thick as all of these books combined, but it breaks down the zodiacs and everything else involved. So, excuse me again. One major issue we have in our world, the people who are running this world, they want us ignorant. That sounds crazy, conspiracy, paranoia if you don't understand it, but if you look at it and objectively and remove your filters and just look at what's going on, it's blatantly obvious. Mathematicians study math, geologists study geology, radiologists study radiation and x-rays, heart doctors study heart, everyone breaks down in their specialty, which is great for becoming specialist at the one thing, but you become tunnel vision. You get tunnel vision. You don't see a bigger picture of what's going on. You don't realize that your zodiac sign literally dictates how your body functions. Your dosha in India and Ayurvedic medicine, it explains some things that we're more prone to having. So, uh, a Capricorn is more prone to having knee pain because they're stubborn. They're like concrete when they're out of balance. All these, it goes based on your balance. So there's a resonance frequency every body has. These plants have a certain frequency. I posted that in a video prior to this. So everything has its own frequency. Everything's vibration. Now, your body needs certain minerals. Some bodies need more. It depends on what your zodiac sign is. So when you're missing food, I go to these cell salts. There's 12 salts. They're also called Schussler salts. Uh, I don't know the year. It was like 1880s, I believe, somewhere around there. Dr. Schussler, I think, was the first one to really isolate, I guess is the right word, to get these compounds into their individual compounds. So calcium fluoride, for example. This is for, I have different numbers on here. I'll explain that in a minute. This is for the zodiac sign of Cancer. It's what builds your ligaments. So this calcium fluoride is actually what your ligaments are built of. One of the main ingredients. I'm not saying that this is all they're made of, but when you eat food for ligament health, when you take certain compounds like vitamins and things for ligament health, this is what you're going for, the calcium fluoride. So why not cut the middleman out and go right to the source? They're real quick and easy. They literally dissolve like little baby aspirins. You put them on your tongue, under your tongue, they dissolve in seconds. Now, number one, so this is their numbers, the company that I bought these from. My numbers you'll see written on top because I go off of the zodiac. So if you look at look at the zodiac in terms of what parts relate to what parts of the body. You got Aries, number 1, which is the head of the upper brain. Taurus, the bull, number 2, which is the lower brain neck. And it goes on and on. You have Gemini, number 3, which is the 2 arms. You have Cancer, which is basically your ligaments, what we just described. And it goes down to Leo, the lion, which is nerves. You have Libra, sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Virgo. Virgo's after the heart. So you have Virgo, the stomach, which is good for digestion health. It's the oil builder. So your body needs oil to burn things, to move things, for digestion, for the furnace of the human body to break things down and use it to charge yourself up. Then you go to, after the stomach, which is Virgo, you go to Libra, which is the hips. This is the scales, balance. Hips and kidneys, they say. So basically it balances your body. But this is one of the most important ones because it balances your pH. So as your body, you're eating food, your pH changes. So if you're stressed and worried about the news today, you know what's going on with these viruses they're talking about, that'll make you more acidic. If you're drinking sugary beverages, that'll make you more acidic. If you're always angry, that'll make you more acidic. When your body's acidic, it's out of balance. It is not resonating in harmony. Things begin to break down. The mucous membrane breaks down. When the mucous membrane that literally encompasses all of your body, there's fascia surrounding all your organs and parts of your body, and there's mucus. When that mucus breaks down, it begins to wander around. When that wanders around where it doesn't belong, because it's been broke down, out of harmony because you're too acidic, that mucus then builds up in areas it doesn't belong. When it builds up in areas it doesn't belong, it gets stagnant. Electrical energy doesn't flow properly. When that happens, you have stagnation. Think of a river. What happens when a river stops flowing? You get moss, mildew, mold, buildup. Same thing in your body. When your electrical flow isn't happening the way it needs to happen because of mucous membrane buildup or certain other things going on, that's when you get bacterial infections. Because in stagnation, the vibration's low enough for a parasite to come in, not to come in because they exist everywhere, for a parasite that's already there to then hear that dinner bell and start feeding. And they multiply. And it gets worse unless you bring it back in balance. So Libra is very important because it balances that pH and will help prevent much of that acidic problem that we get. After Libra, we go to Sagittarius. No, I'm sorry. One more. We have Scorpio. Where's Scorpio? Here's Scorpio. See, I like my numbers organized differently. Scorpio is the tissue builder. So this helps with rebuilding all the cells in your body, technically. It's literally one of the minerals that your body uses to build tissue. Then you go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, the archer, is the thighs. Now, what Sagittarius does is the surgeon of the body. It removes toxins. It builds hair, skin, and nails. Silicea. That's the name of it. So think of, it's like a diamond. Think of a diamond cutting through something that's stagnant. So if you have buildup in your body, like an infection from that mucous membrane being stuck somewhere, when you have silica in your body, silicea they call it, Sagittarius, it literally, your body pushes that out first. So it cuts its way out, and then when it reaches the surface, breaks out of your body, and then the bacteria drains, which we call zits or pimples, whatever you want to call them. So silica literally helps flush out toxins, and it also helps rebuild your hair, skin, and nails. Very crucial. After that, where do we go from the thighs? Next is Capricorn. Capricorn is the knees. Bone builder. Capricorn, it's like essentially Legos for your bones. So I take this one a lot because with all my over 50 procedures on my spine, my doctors and surgeons who I trusted, they thought the best thing for me, instead of treating the cause of why my back was hunching, they wanted to go in there, cut a bunch of bone out, fuse everything together, and then screw it in place with titanium, and then eventually cobalt chromium because the titanium wasn't strong enough. That's like putting a, how do you even, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. It's really not treating the cause of what's going on there. Yeah, it may function temporarily as a Band-Aid, but it's not going to fix the problem. So I take Capricorn because I'm actually rebuilding all the bones that they, number one, they ground out a lot of the bones. Number two, they also screwed in place the hardware, so that put big holes in my vertebrae. Some were so big that the 10.5 millimeter diameter screws could no longer fit, so they'd literally just go in and out of my bone like a screw in drywall. Every time I moved, every time I sneezed, every time I coughed, a screw would pop out. When I stand up straight, walking around through the day, my body hunches forward, the screws would rip out, or I'd rip out of the screws. When I lay back in bed, each one would go in thread by thread, and I would feel them. So that was damaging a lot of bone. So Capricorn's been a big one for me. It's helping me rebuild all that. After the knees, we go to the calves. So where are the calves? No, not that. Where am I at? I'm getting confused because these are out of my order. Calves are Aquarius. How come I'm not seeing it? Feet, head, stomach, heart, calves, Aquarius. Right in front of me. So the calves, Aquarius, sodium chloride, salt. It's like table salt. So your body needs this salt because it literally moves water around your body. So think of like Lake Erie or any lake that you have with salt deposits. There's salt under there because that salt literally pulls water. It pools water. So if you have a salt lamp in your house, like we have a round globe salt lamp, when it's very humid out, that thing will be saturated with water because the salt, literally like magnetism, pulls that water, moves it around. So if you have salt, if you need to move water around your body, having the proper balance of sodium chloride, salt, in your body is essential. Without it, your body will not have the water flowing where it needs to flow properly. After calves, we go to the feet. Pisces, the two fish. This is iron, ferrum phosphate. So iron is essential for energy and for, I mean, just look it up. It's huge. We need it. All 12 of these are the essential. In the books, they literally describe them as the petrostones, building God's temple. So when you're building your body, it's not. I mean, of course, in the emotional and mental is much more powerful, but on the physical level, we're in a physical reality, so we have to deal with this. You want the 12 essential building blocks, so you can go out and eat all the food you want. But if that food is deficient, like if there aren't minerals in this leaf that I eat, if I'm missing silicea, and it's not in that leaf, I need to get it somehow if that's all I'm eating. Now, obviously, that's not all I'm eating, but think about it. In the modern American diet, a lot of people live on fast food. There are barely any minerals in fast food. A lot of people live on microwave ovens. Microwaves kill your food and your body. So a lot of these things, they're just missing the nutrients, the minerals that we need. So when you're deficient like that, cell salts are a great way to get the minerals that you need. This book is my favorite right here because after reading this, and when you master it, I'm not there yet, but you could literally look at somebody's face and see what they're missing. Because our face, our whole body, I mean, this is why like reflexology works. If you could touch a certain part of the foot and reach any part of the body that you want, and the ears, and then you can look at the face. So there's signs throughout this book. It tells you what you need, what you're missing. Like crow's feet, for example. When we have crow's feet, we're low on silica because it's, among other things, but that's one of the big things that helps that because our bodies are crumpled up. Also, lack of water. So that's your salt, Aquarius. So these minerals are essential for our lives, our bodies to work properly. And without them, your body is going to be out of balance or in disharmony, or they call dis-ease. Your body's not at ease. When you have all 12 of these balanced in your body, you're not adding, synthetic chemicals, toxins, your body will heal everything that comes into contact. It can heal pretty much anything, opposed to a catastrophic injury. But I'm talking about sickness, bugs, disease. Our bodies are designed, when they're balanced with these cell salts, with the minerals, your body will be resilient. You're resonating at a frequency high enough that any bug that tries to attach to you is not going to, first off, they won't even try to go to you because you're resonating too high and that's not their food source. They like things that are vibrating lower. So all these viruses that we're hearing about on TV and all this, they're trying to scare us, saying that, oh, it's, everyone's getting sick, we got to separate. And there's more going on. I promise you there's a lot more going on. There's agendas at work that most people don't even want to look into because it's scary or they don't have time. They're busy with the kids and work and what have you. But there's an agenda to control us more. And I mean, everybody's known this. I mean, 1984, George Orwell wrote about this and everyone read it and didn't believe it. They thought it was science fiction. It's happening in front of us, and anyone that's really paying attention notices it. The other ones are too busy in it, so they don't notice it. But basically, it's deeper than what we see on the surface. So always look deeper and figure out, for yourself, not for anyone else. Figure out for yourself first and then help others. So these books are great to look at, to research. This book is outstanding because it literally shows you pictures and it explains it very nicely. I don't agree with the order that they put this in, but it's still a great book. I highly recommend it. So that's number 2. That's one of the ways I maintain my body. The last video you guys saw my supplements I take, if I take them, when I take them. These minerals. Again, I don't take anything every day. Certain days my body needs certain things, so I'll muscle test. We'll do a video on that too, but you can look up muscle testing. Your body will literally tell you if it needs something or not. There's certain ways to do that, but we'll get into it in the next video. But essentially, these 12 building blocks right here are why we eat food in the first place. If you have water and these minerals, your body is doing pretty good. So the goal is to get these from your food, but if you can't, find yourself some cell salts and you'll feel a lot better. All right, everybody, be well. Talk to you next time.